Hello! Welcome to YouTube.
Welcome to YouTube. Yeah, this is the Loud Poets YouTube channel.
You
Katie,
have found
our
us.
expert host.
I'm good at the technologies.
So this is another one in our vlog series. We hope you're enjoying them. We're enjoying doing them. So today, Kate and I are talking about...
crowdfunding.
Yeah. We both used Kickstarter, didn't we?
Yes, we did. We both used Kickstarter to fund our pamphlets launching, and then I also used it to fund my video polos, which you can find here. Plug.
We love giving Perry edits.
Oh yeah, so much fun.
Yeah, I did a pamphlet and CD, so that was mine.
Yeah.
So how did you find it?
I loved it. I think it's an excellent tool for enabling artists to make a product or to do an activity, some kind of event. I mean, really, it runs the gamut for anything that you want to use it for. And I think for me, as someone who isn't exactly rolling in the dough, it was great just to be able to... I'm a poet. It was great just to have some startup capital to be able to carry out a project that I've been meaning to do for ages. So I've been thinking about a collection for a really, really long time. I have a lot of page poems on top of spoken word poems, a lot of little itsy bitsy things that I can never really perform. And so I was like, it'd be great to just have some kind of way to get this.
It's that thing you say though, like being an artist usually means you're either studying or kind of working in a job and trying to live off that while kind of doing your art. I know for me, I even mentioned in my Kickstart video, I was like, I just don't have, this is a thing I really want to do. I think people would like it, but I don't have the resources to kind of do it. And sometimes you have to turn to the scene. I think the thing, beyond just getting the product done, the pamphlet and the CD, which looked amazing, and you should all buy.
Perry designed them, did an excellent job.
But apart from getting that, it was kind of seeing how quickly the scene will back you and stuff. If you're doing decent work and people are invested in you and see that you're trying to put something out there that's good, they'll really respond to it. I mean, I had donations from friends and family and people I knew, but the vast majority came from people I had met in the scene who were keen to see my work from all over the UK, even from the States and stuff. It was really impressive.
I was actually surprised at who exactly supported the campaign, because there were some people who I had kind of expected, but then you get folks coming out and saying, I love your poetry, I'd love to support this. And you said, I don't know that you heard my poetry. You know, how did you find me? And it would be folks from YouTube or folks from home who I hadn't spoken to in ages, but they'd found me again and found my work again. So I think in that sense, it's actually really empowering to see just the level of support that you can get from your community. So,
how did you decide to go with Kickstart over? Because there's a lot of crowdfunding. I know High Flight, Sam Small and High Flight used Indiegogo to run their fanzine, which is awesome. And so they used Indiegogo for that. I went Kickstart just because it was the one I knew. And I am a victim of laziness.
To be perfectly honest, it was essentially the same for me. I'd seen you do it about a month prior and saw the success that you had, and I figured, well, that worked for him. It sounds good for me. But yeah, I don't know much about what else is out there. I know Patreon.
Well, this is names because I was gonna bring up. Is it Patreon? I think it's Patreon. Patreon. Perry knows. Patreon, because I know a band I love, Walk Off the Earth. They've been really successful with how they use their YouTube to engage a community around them, and Patreon's become a big thing for them. I know Kevin Gilday. I just always mention Kevin Gilday in these.
You do love him very much.
I do. Not as much as he loves beer.
That's
Kev, like, he's just launched his Patreon. Which I'm really lazy. I'm in the process of signing up to. I think it's a really valuable thing, and I think for a very small fee you can kind of support people who we all complain it's hard to make money in the poetry scene. It's hard to make money in any art scene if you're not high up on it. Whereas this is a way, and not to make money for a person, but to make money for projects and to release specific pieces of art.
As well, I think the nice thing about Patreon is that it supports you over a long period of time, whereas Kickstarter, at least how we've used it, is for a specific project. So I don't any longer receive income from crowdfunding. And if I was interested in doing that and having a more sustainable support base, then I could use that. So I think it just depends on what you're looking to do.
There's also the inherent thing of I think doing a second campaign, and we've talked about it before, like you were like worried about necessarily putting your Kickstarter out at the same time as mine. Because it was, will people give as much? Will they spread it around as far? Because people have a finite amount of resources to pay for poetry.
Especially poets.
So it's that idea of how much will people give if you do it a second time?
Yes.
If you do it a third time. Like if I now wanted to do what you did where you used it for a video, would people have the same push to give me that funding? Probably not me, because I've still not sent out a ton of pamphlets.
You've been
if you're watching this and
so
you donated to come up my Kickstarter, I'm sorry.
I've reminded him.
I'm sending them out this week.
So
genuinely, before we decided to do this, I'd already picked it. It's the whole thing. But you know what I mean? It's that add-on effect.
I think that kind of leads to another point, which is when you're planning a Kickstarter, so just some lessons that we've learned from it. Tips and tricks from Kevin and Katie. Perry, you can put some text here and illuminate it.
Perry hates us.
But no, one of the things that I realized is, because we'd both done it for the first time, I realized it's really important to be realistic about rewards and realistic about what you're able to give.
Because Katie's rewards, this is the best thing. When
I didn't expect to make as much.
So my rewards were pretty basic. I was like, you get a mention in the book. The next reward, you get a mention and the book. Next reward, you get a mention, the book, and it's signed personally, a little personal thing. The next one, that plus the CD. Reasonable prizes.
Although not really for you, since you haven't sent them out yet.
That's true. What was your top?
So my top reward was 25 quid, because I thought that my mum would give me 25 quid, and other than that, no one would. I was wrong. People are wonderful. So 8 people pledged 25 quid, and my reward for that, on top of several rewards associated with the pamphlet and the video, was that I would write them a poem. I have yet to do that for anyone. I am so sorry. I think I don't regret doing it. I think it's really good to have these commissions, and quite a few of them are really interesting poems that I'm looking forward to writing, and I have them drafted.
It's nice how your crowdfunding to create a project has kind of given you extra projects to do. That's what it's supposed to be. It's why Patreon might be.
Absolutely. But yeah, just a tip relating to that. I think just don't cut yourself short. Don't undersell yourself. People will give you money if you're providing an excellent product, or if they trust you, or if they know that you'll carry it out. So maybe don't promise them like a unicorn if you can't deliver the unicorn. But
I think one of my top tips would be use other people. Like bring not only people's money, because that's great for creating the final product, but I was really keen to use the people around me. Loud Poets, we have a huge team. It's not just the people that you see on the stage all the time. We have the band, we have Perry who does all these kind of things for us, we have producer Dave, we have people who have done social media stuff for us like Nix and stuff. There's the whole big team, and I was really keen to use them. Perry designed my pamphlet from a picture you had taken. He did the CD for me. He showed me the right sites to use and stuff. We spent a lot of time working on it. Not just him going, cool, I'll do that, but like his input into how it should look creatively. You edited all my poems to make, I'm not a page poet, I don't know how things should look on the page, so I got someone who would make my words actually, I go, Jesus, I have written a proper nice poem, which is a beautiful thing to realize. It might be another blog subject.
It's really interesting formatting all of your work into a page thing when I'm not the author.
And then I had the band to do the music, and I managed to pay Perry and the band, not a lot, but I managed to go like, here, before I sell a single pamphlet, I can give you some money, I can reward you for the work you've done, and hopefully continue to do in the future. And you build these relationships, and everyone gets to do this amazing work. Like Perry's now worked on 2 crowdfunding things that he wasn't the impetus behind, but has had the opportunity to have his work funded through as well. And so in that way, it helps build these artistic communities, which are so important to be able to continue to make work and be able to not profit greatly, but not lose money on your work. I think
it's so important as well for the folks who want to donate to Kickstarters, if they know it's not, all the money isn't just going to me, right? So for mine, for example, it went to Perry, it went to the band who did the music for the video, it went to folks supporting the video, various other costs associated with the video, and as well with the pamphlet. So I think when people know that it'll be spread around, that it isn't just the individual artist, although of course it's fine just to do a project individually, I think it's so great to do a project that is rooted in the community, that involves multiple players.
Another tip that I think I would have, if I was doing a second one, or if I could go back, would be to maybe have started earlier on the project itself. I think there's a temptation to kind of see your the point of launching that crowdfunding page is the point that you start doing the work. Whereas if you had started earlier, you could include videos and stuff of you doing work on the pamphlet. Like me and Perry sitting at the computer formatting everything.
Yeah.
Would have worked really well to go, oh, they're actually working on it. I can already see where it's going, and I'm going to get in on that. Yeah. The bigger sort of kickstarting ones, because it's a thing I've stayed engaged with. I really like Kickstarter. I've funded a couple of different things, and I really enjoy that. The ones that I get most engaged with are people who are already working on it, and they're going, we need this much to finish it off.
It's a very specific ask. You know, I think people are so much more likely to donate if it's, well, right, so the smoke machine costs 20 quid, and the venue hire costs this amount, and the pamphlets cost exactly this, and here's how I'm going to do it. You don't have to, you know, give people everything, but I think if they know that you are in control of a project already, it's much better than, I want to do a book. And then... No, that's not what you did.
I know what you mean. No,
but...
it totally is what I did. I went, I want to do a book and CD and give me money so I can do it. If you watch my Kickstarter video, it is absolutely yes, that. That is everyone else has got a book. I want a book.
This is all derived from jealousy for Kev, really.
The thing is, so that's, I mean, it's interesting. So tips you've kind of got, like, get started already.
Yeah.
You've got be specific about what you want to do, things like that. I think the biggest, but there's kind of drawbacks. And while we were successful, I know other people who haven't had their crowdfunding achieved.
Yeah.
And I imagine that must be really difficult to deal with, especially if you can see other people being successful at it. Because then it becomes, and the thing is, it's not about who's better, whose art is more valuable, or whatever, but often about who's better at networking or who's better at convincing people, selling what they've got. And so there's a lot of really, really talented people not getting that crowdfunding. It becomes like almost a second tier. You go, so all the famous people that are releasing, are on labels and got albums, they're all getting all this great money. And then there's this next tier of people who can successfully crowdfund. And then there's people who have access to that and can try and do it, but aren't getting it. It's tough. I guess the big message would be, like, try and fund people. Even if it's only a few quid, even if you don't get the reward, like, try and give people a couple quid.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it ultimately just grows the community, and it means that folks have a chance to work at their art, you know, to really go through things. I know for me, the process of making a pamphlet taught me so much about my work. Like, I tried to kind of have a narrative throughout and a theme, and I realized all of the motifs that I use so much just through this process of making a collection. I was like, I talk about the ocean all the time. It became a motif because it had to be, because all of my poems are about the goddamn ocean. So, but no, I think for me it was such an educational process, and I'm so grateful that I had the means to do that, the ability to do that.
I think just as well, I think people should crowdfund, because I think whether you're going to make $1 million quid off your books or whatever is irrelevant. I think having something to sell makes those gigs that you do for free more worthwhile. Because all right, I'll try and sell a couple books. It makes when you got a merch stall at your fringe show or whatever, it just makes you look like you've committed something into it. So if people are paying to see you or hear you, then they're seeing something quality. You know, it kind of allows them to go, well, they must have something worth doing, because they've clearly printed books and stuff. I think it's important. I would say, because I was a big thing about not doing a book. I said it for ages, I wouldn't do a book. I wanted to do a CD, but then I did the book, and I think it's so important, because now I have access to things like Stanza, where I can go and sell books to a whole different audience who maybe don't watch spoken word as much and are much more about page poetry. And if I went up without any of that, I might feel like the black sheep spoken word artist, rather than going in and going, no, I'm a poet and I'll put my stuff on the page against sort of other people's stuff and let you rate it. I
think it's another vlog. It's another topic to discuss, because this, you know, debate over whether we should print spoken word, whether we should get it on the page and all of that is a really interesting conversation to have. But no, I think definitely if you are working primarily as a spoken word artist, it makes it so much easier to have some kind of product that you can put out. And I know there aren't a lot of spoken word publishers. There's Burning Eye, which is amazing, and you should absolutely check them out, and a couple of others.
Red Squirrel and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. But for the most part, I think self-publishing is really one of the very few avenues that we have open, and I know that I would never have been able to afford it without running my Kickstarter. So yeah, as well, the same with the video. Videos cost a lot to make, I realized, if you want to do them well. So
I guess the big thing is, like, do your research. Figure out what you can do. Do as much as you can do before you ask for help, and then make sure you you sell it well.
Yeah. Sell it well, sell it well.
So you would tell people to try crowdfunding, give it a go?
Definitely say, I would say if you have a project in mind, don't just go to Kickstarter and be like, what can I do? But if there's something that you've been thinking about for a while, if you have a sense of how it would be done, if you have access to people who you can talk to about it, if you have a Perry-like figure in your life. But because as well, having a good video, having a sense of the plan, having social media networks or other networks that you can put it out to, even telling your family, can you email this out to all of my great aunts and cousins and folks? If you have a sense of what you want to do, definitely try it out, because I think you'll be surprised by the way that the community can respond.
So yeah, let us know. Comment below if you've done a crowdfunding sort of project and you want to chat about that. If you've got one on the go, put up a link in the comment section. Get people interested. Let us know what you think about crowdfunding.
Stay loud.
Oh, I hate you.